once in a while I get this like beep in my ear, and
Yes,
you
it
told
is.
me that it was the universe trying to get me centered and focused on something.
Sometimes it is higher frequency energies being translated through your neurological system. Yes, making you aware that you are receiving information.
Right. So I was a young girl making a lot of really bad choices and putting
How
myself...
exciting.
Right? I learned so much.
Yes.
And I would be in dangerous situations very
All right.
frequently, and
All right.
that noise would happen, and I would...
To let you know that you always have assistance.
So I would always end up somehow miraculously escaping what could have been
Yes.
my death.
Yes.
And
Although sometimes you didn't.
Right. I really want to thank you for that. I don't make those same choices for quite some time now.
Oh, all right.
And,
Thank you for growing.
thank you.
But again, remember, you did it. You saved yourself. You applied the information which you didn't have to do, and therefore you shifted yourself into another version of yourself that makes different choices, because that's what you prefer to be.
And I really believe that.
Well, that's exactly what's happening.
So my question is, today is Father's Day.
Yes, it
and my
is.
dad passed away.
Oh, all right. Doesn't mean he's not still around.
That's part of my question. I want to know if personality is infinite, and will I be able to recognize him on my next level? Because
Absolutely.
I fully believe in 7 levels.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Therefore, whatever needs to be done for you to have that homecoming recognition will happen.
Thank you.
Well, I had nothing to do with it. That's just the way things are.
I really appreciate it. It's really nice to see you again. You look a lot different than you did 30 years ago, but
You mean
you
the
still,
channel, yes.
Yeah, you still have the same like essence, and
Yes,
I
yes.
truly love you. Thank you.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
Hello.
And to you, good day.
Okay, I have one question and some affirmation. Um, um, 2, 3, 4 years ago, I was dreaming about some alien, but the alien looked like a cartoon in my dream. But now they look like more different entities, like I can recognize them, but like
Yes.
they're like in a photo booth, but they're like shifting very quickly in front of my eyes,
Yes.
like I already saw them.
Yes.
And also I can now like hear a lot of conversation in my mind, but all in French, and I don't know how it's happened. It's like come from nowhere, and it's like I hear the conversation, but I'm not there.
Yes. But these are the natural extension of your senses when you begin to expand consciousness. These are some of the natural symptoms. You begin to be able to perceive, see, hear, feel, touch things that were invisible to you before, because your senses are expanding, because your consciousness is becoming more integrated. You're remembering more of who you are. So these are the natural results of that.
Okay.
You're connecting and becoming more aware to interactions that you're having, to connections and relationships that you have beyond the earth, in other planes, in other dimensions. This is one of the natural symptoms of this growth. Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. And like 3, 4 years ago also, I was smoking cannabis,
Yes.
and at a certain point I hold my breath, and it's like a hunter, like a room, white room. I was it was a white room, but like a
Yes.
cube.
Yes.
And on all the edge there is like some shadow, like that. I can recognize that it's a cube. And I was on the top, and just my head was out of I was inside, but on the corner up.
Yes.
And when I was there, I felt so much love
Yes.
inside.
Yes.
And I would like to know, what is that?
Well, you shifted to another dimensional reality, and you were sort of inside a kind of a structure, or something you might recognize as a ship, but slightly altered from things that you would understand in your reality as a ship or a structure. Does this make sense to you? There are different kinds of energy structures that exist in different kinds of dimensions that you would interpret as a solid structure but really aren't. So you could say it was a room in another reality,
Yeah, it
a
looked
room
like
in
a
another ship in another dimension, but it's actually not quite either of those things. It's a place that you go where you give yourself kind of a waiting period. It's kind of a transition place, a waiting room in another dimension, so that you can interact. It's kind of a neutralization place that gives you the opportunity to interact with other beings by going into that neutralization room first. It's like passing through a place that preps you for interactions in other dimensions. Does this make sense to you?
kind of, yeah.
Kind of, all right. Let it sink in.
Yeah, I will.
You can call it a waiting room if you wish.
Waiting, okay.
Yes, or a transition room. It alters your frequency to make you more capable of interacting with other beings from other realities. Does that help?
Yes,
All right. It's a shifting room.
shifting room.
Yes.
Okay. It's like shifting, yeah, dimension. It's
Yes,
like,
yes, yes.
It's for me, it was like more like I was thinking it was a screen. In fact, that something is going to appear on all the
Well, it can.
walls.
That can be how it presents itself. When you are shifted appropriately to receive different frequencies. It can present itself as being projected on the walls. It can present itself as a being projecting dimensionally before you. Many different kinds of imagery can be projected or presented that way to aid and assist you in becoming more compatible and more at ease and more familiar with what you're about to encounter. It's like a stepping program that gets you used to something in steps.
Okay, I see.
Does that help?
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
And I was sitting over there and I was like feeling like I have like two entities inside me, like the negative part and the positive part.
Yes, well, that's just part of your own consciousness. Other entities cannot be inside you.
Yes.
You fill yourself up. There's no room for anyone else.
Yeah.
But you can match other entities' vibrations and translate their vibrations within your own energy, and that can feel like something else is inside you, but that's simply your interpretation of the change in your own energy.
Right.
Make sense?
Yes.
All right. And so you're being given an opportunity to explore more the polarities within your own being.
Yeah, and I was feeling that he was like, he wants to get out because it's like he has nothing to do here, but I'm holding it. And
Well, why are you holding on to something you don't prefer?
because I'm afraid.
Of what?
I think I'm afraid of dying.
You're afraid of dying?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
I just
What do you think is going to happen when you die?
explode.
You will explode?
Yeah.
Well, that would be an exciting death.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. You will explode into a million different versions of yourself, each of which can go on and explore a completely different universe and dimension. How about that idea?
That's looking nice.
You like that one?
Yeah, I love it.
All right, then why don't you hold on to that idea?
Yeah, I'm keeping
Because it can be anything you imagine it to be. Because you cannot cease to exist.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then,
Yeah, I
there's
know,
nothing to
but
be afraid of.
Yeah, you're right.
And even if you decide to create something that feels horrifying when you die, the moment you don't prefer it anymore, it will change instantaneously. Remember, things change immediately in the non-physical world.
Yes.
So, nothing to be afraid of, really. Unless, of course, you have fun being afraid.
Yeah.
But that's up to you.
Yeah.
It will still allow you to exist, and it really doesn't have to be any different than simply waking up from a dream and remembering who you really are. Oh, that dream seems so real, but now I'm awake and this is who I really am. Simple as changing your clothes. Simple as walking from one room to another. That simple.
Sometimes it's just hard to realize that.
That's a belief.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't have to be hard to realize that. That's just your beliefs that are making it difficult. So change the beliefs if you don't prefer them, and it will be easy to realize that.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right, merci beaucoup.
De rien. Après.
Good day, Bashar,
And you, good day.
and happy Father's Day.
Oh, all right, thank you, and you as well.
And thank you. My first question is about when tragedy happens, what we call tragedy, let's say
Yes.
what happened in Orlando,
Yes,
my
yes, yes.
first feeling is one of a sinking feeling of sadness.
Yes.
And I see the victim and the perpetrator in the same way within
Yes.
that sadness.
Yes.
And then I often go to a place where I almost look at it from the soul perspective. That's the way I think of it.
Well, not almost.
Okay, I do. I go to a
Yes.
place where I look at it from the soul like,
Yes.
those souls chose that. That's amazing. I honor that, or something
They
like
chose
that.
the probability of that.
Okay.
It isn't always that precise, but they are willing to go with the flow of what will serve the collective best in terms of letting them learn the lessons that they prefer to learn. It doesn't always have to happen that way, but sometimes the belief systems of a society are such that if they're very stubborn in changing them, then things sometimes will happen to shake them up so that perhaps they will take the actions to ensure that such things don't necessarily need to happen again.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, I can feel that. There's something you said after 9/11 happened that I read, and it said that there was a special time right after that where things were very malleable, where
Yes.
we had dropped our outward facade, and we were
Yes.
soft,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
and I could feel that, and it
And
does
so-
seem like this is happening again.
And it will continue to happen
Yes.
until such time as you allow yourselves to become malleable and flexible without needing that.
Yes. All right, thank you. And on that same place, in the work that I do, I work with a lot of social workers and
Yes.
therapists and teachers, and this word trauma is a very big word right now. I hear it all the time. Trauma, I work
Yes.
with them with yoga, so trauma yoga and things like that. And without wanting to be disrespectful for someone's struggle, let's say, I do the same thing. I go to the place where I see that soul is very
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
strong. But when I express that sometimes to people, and I try to do it in ways
Yes,
that
yes,
they can
yes.
hear, they get affronted as though I'm...
Yes.
So could you just address that for a moment?
Well, remember, of course, that you cannot change someone's mind. If they really want to hold on to that victimized mentality, there's nothing really that you can do to get them to let it go until they're ready to do so, if they ever are. Nevertheless, you can simply share with them the understanding that it is not about dismissing what they're going through. In fact, it's very important to acknowledge any emotion or feeling
Yes.
that comes up. But the idea is that you're offering them an opportunity to understand that they can transform that, they can learn from it, and they can create a positive effect in their lives without dismissing the experiences that they've had.
Yes.
But it is important eventually for members of your society to understand that it is really, really necessary, if you're really going to experience a real transformation, for people to stop choosing to play victim because they believe they're getting something out of it.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, I do.
But
Thank you.
nevertheless, all you can do is share the insight in the most loving, gentle way you can, giving it to them as an opportunity and an option to understand something from a slightly different point of view, and then you have to just let them decide.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes?
One question about SPIs, simultaneous parallel incarnations.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm wanting to understand this, and I feel like I'm myself inside my skin, and that this body is finite, so it will
Yes.
perish, and then
It
I
will
will
and
be
it
in
won't.
an...
It will and it won't. It will in linear time. It won't in the timeless state.
Okay.
Because everything always exists. It's just that you shift your focus in such a way as to make it appear as if it's gone away.
I see. So let's say that I have this interest to be, let's just say, one of the hybrid children, and come here as one of the hybrid children.
Yes.
So
So from the oversoul level, you can do that.
when this physical body
Yes.
is finished,
It doesn't have to be finished to have that experience.
that's the part I'm
All right,
confused
all right.
on.
But you can also create the experience as if you die and reincarnate as a hybrid child. But that's not what's mechanically happening. That's a description of the experience you are creating, the illusionary experience.
Okay.
You're creating using the structure as it exists.
I see.
Does that help?
Yes, yes, definitely does. Wow. Okay.
The reason that this channeling can actually happen is because myself, what you would consider to be the future self of the channel, and the channel, what you would consider to be one of my past lives, actually coexist simultaneously. It's just that we have learned how to use that as a technology so that we can communicate. If the channel was really in my past, there would be no way to reach him.
I see.
You understand?
Yes. And so just to take that a moment further.
Yes.
Does that mean that at some point in the far future, whatever that time, let's talk about Willa Hillichristing, like
Oh, yes.
700 years. Does that mean that Darryl will experience himself as her in linear
He
time?
can do that from a linear perspective, yes.
Wow, this is a real stretch.
If you say so. But it's good.
Okay.
It's good to stretch, is it
It's
not?
good to stretch. It
Yes.
is. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes. And my last question is, I have this feeling that the Yael are helping with the hybrid children, and perhaps
Oh, yes,
even
yes,
it's
yes.
their DNA that's part of the hybrid children.
The hybrid children have DNA from several different sources. Yael being one of them, yes. And the Yael, in a sense, are their, well, I'll use this term. The Yael are their sponsors.
Got it.
Does that help
That's
you?
how it feels to me. Yes.
All right.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Andrew, you good day.
So I have to say that I'm a bit more concerned with the probable terrorist attack than I am with my question.
Oh, all right. What do you want to do about that?
I don't know what to do about that,
Sure
to be
you do.
perfectly honest.
Sure you do. Take the actions that are in alignment with your excitement, that are
Right.
expressions of the reality that you would prefer.
Okay, got it. So I put my name into the bucket yesterday.
Yes.
And I knew I was going to get called.
Yes.
But then I had to leave early for work.
Oh, all right.
And I got called then.
Yes.
And that just made me think that my actual question that I really want to ask is related to, I don't know why I have and create so many amazing opportunities for myself, and
You
then
don't
when
know why?
then when I get them,
Yes.
I am afraid to act on them or embrace them.
Because?
I don't know, I just feel
Oh,
so
come
scared.
on. Yes, of course you do. What are you afraid will happen if you do?
I don't know, I feel like I won't live up to my expectations of myself, of like what my best self can be.
I see. May I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Do you believe that you're doing the best you can? Even when you're not doing your best?
No, I feel like I can always do better.
You will always have that feeling. Always. Because you will always grow. You will always change. But in the moment, are you being the best you can be at that moment that you know how to be?
Sometimes.
No, all the time. Because
Oh, that's
even if
true.
you're holding on to a negative belief that doesn't allow you to be the self you know you can be, the fact is you're still being the best you can be
Yeah.
with the negative belief in place. Yes?
Okay. Yes.
Therefore, you're always doing your best. Why not think that way about yourself? Knowing that you're always doing your best doesn't mean you can't do better, doesn't mean you can't change.
Right.
But if you're always doing your best, then it's easier to change. Because
Right.
if you simply assume that you're never doing your best, how can you work with that?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, I
You are
do.
depleting and depreciating yourself and taking energy away from your ability to actually do better
Yeah.
by assuming that you're not doing your best because you're discounting and invalidating yourself.
Right.
Does
Okay.
that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
So does this help?
It does help, but how can knowing that I'm doing my best, because what you just said does really resonate with me.
Yes.
But
Yes. And, not but,
and how do I feel like okay with like this is only the best I can do right now, even though I want to do better?
well, take out the word only. Because again, you're diminishing it with that
Yeah.
definition.
Yeah.
This is only all I can do.
So it's just a frame of mind, basically.
It is a frame of what you believe to be true.
Okay.
And therefore that leaks into your mind and your feelings and your behaviors. So listen to what comes out of your mouth, because quite often it's quite revealing as to what you believe to be true about yourself. And what you're simply saying is, I don't really believe that I'm capable of doing anything else. And that's not true.
Okay.
It's just a belief. It's not a fact. So you can say, all right, since it is my intention to do my best, that is your intention, yes?
Absolutely.
All right. Then even when I am not doing my best, I'm doing my best to do my best.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And that will keep you in the positive state that gives you more ability to actually do your best.
Got it.
Does that help?
That
That's the
helps so
paradox.
much.
That's how to bootstrap yourself upward.
Okay.
So,
Yay.
and also, of course, examining the beliefs that you may be holding on to that allow you to feel afraid to move forward.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing that you're doing is you're saying, well, I'm afraid to do my best, but I'm also punishing myself for not.
Yeah.
So you are, as you say, between the proverbial rock and a hard place. So allow
Totally.
yourself to understand that you need to find out what those negative beliefs are that are making it seem as if it's scarier to do your best than to actually just settle.
Right.
When you find that belief and detach it from your excitement, then you will always know you're doing your best and you will do better.
Yay.
Yay. Does that help?
It
you?
does help. Thank
All
you.
right.
So
And?
the previous woman answered, or she got the answer to part of my question.
Yes, yes, yes.
But is it because you are a technically future version of Darryl in this time and space as we know it?
Yes.
Is that the reason you are enjoying contact with us to help us? Is that why you want to help us? What's the benefit for you?
We are family. And thus, the idea is that the more of us there are, the more fun we can have and the more we can learn, yes?
Yes.
Because everyone is a reflection for everyone else. Is that not so?
Yes.
Don't you know the story of the pot?
Nope.
Oh, all right. In what you would call indigenous lore, there is the story of a large clay pot. And there is a painting on each portion of the pot that contains a different figure, that tells a different part of the story. And people sitting around the pot only see one figure. So if someone is missing, you don't get the whole story. You understand?
Yes.
So we have our story, you have your story, but together we're a bigger story and we get to learn more and experience more. Does that help?
Yes.
All right.
And then
So
last,
you are part of our pot.
Yay. Last thing, was my mom an extraterrestrial?
You all have extraterrestrial connections, but she was not physically born on another planet.
Okay.
That's what extraterrestrial means.
Yeah, she thought she was, so I just wanted to ask.
Well, she's simply looking at it from an old-fashioned point of view in the recognition that she has connections, like all of you do, to other societies, and that focus became paramount, and so by focusing on it, the assumption for many of you, because of the way you've been taught to think, is that you actually come from another planet. But you're born on Earth and you make these connections to other civilizations to aid and assist you with energy and information in exploring the theme that you chose to explore while being a Earth being.
Wonderful.
So, does that help explain it more clearly?
It does. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
It is an honor, Bashar.
And to you, good day, and for us as well.
So I am a video game designer and programmer.
Oh, all right. How exciting.
Yes, definitely. And I love games like chess and
Yes.
card games and rock, paper, scissors. And
Yes,
things
yes,
like
yes.
that. Do you have anything
What
like-
about Lizard Spock?
Right. Right, definitely. So do you play...
Some people will understand the reference.
Yes. Me too. I definitely
Oh,
get-
all
get
right.
it. So do you have any games that you'd like to share that you maybe play
We
in
just
your
gave you
civilization?
Cybo.
Right, the pot game where you all sit
No,
around.
no. We recently delivered information on a game that was given to us at the beginning of our evolution that was for the purpose of expanding our synchronicity. Someone in the audience can explain to you the rules that we have recently delivered for the game of Saibo, which is the number 13 in our ancient language, which is the sign of transformation and synchronicity. So that is a game we have recently bequeathed unto all of you to play to expand your synchronicity.
Okay, that's excellent. Thank you.
Yes.
And I have one more question.
Yes.
About a year ago, I was driving to work in the morning in the dark, and I saw 3 lights fly by
Yes.
my car.
Yes.
It was only for a fraction of a second, but I was wondering if that was some sort of UFO, because I've always wanted to.
Well, since it was unidentified, I suppose it was.
Right, but was it some sort of ET? When I was driving in the morning to work.
Yes, 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 we understand. We're scanning your energy. Yes.
It was?
A quick flyby, yes.
Yeah. What civilization was it?
Yael.
Yael? Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Bashar.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's everything. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
all right, thank
It was
you.
an honor.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
I'd like to start with expressing my gratitude for this co-creation,
All right, our gratitude to you as well.
for realizing, you helped me realize who I am.
You helped
To-
yourself. But we
Yes,
thank you for using the information we shared to do so.
to expand and to see myself and everything that
Yes.
surrounds me and
Yes,
in
yes, yes.
everyone.
Yes. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yes. I had this experience a few months back where I was looking out of the window and
Out of a window in what? A house, a car, a plane?
in my apartment.
Oh, all right.
And I saw a flashback or a deja vu where there was these 3 spots like a triangle
Yes.
in the sky, and
Yes.
it was changing its location
Yes.
very fast. I was just thinking what it
Yes.
was.
Yes. You're looking at a portal, a vortex,
Okay.
a dimensional gate. These things crop up now and then. Some of them are circular, some of them are triangular, some of them are other shapes, but sometimes your senses are capable of picking them up when your senses expand far enough.
All right.
Does that help you?
Well, yeah, it does.
All right. Anything
And-
else?
Yeah, I also wanted to ask you to remind me again. At this point, your interaction with us,
Yes.
how it has changed our planet, and what
How
impact.
you have changed it.
Yes. What happened?
What
is
happened?
the impact that you had by interacting with us?
There are many different kinds of things that you have changed because of your interactions with us. We have already mentioned several, and the idea is that your history, even collectively, is constantly changing because of your interaction with us. Sometimes what you think of as the history that you've always had is not actually the collective history you had 5 minutes ago. It's just that because you have a new history, it seems as if that's the history you've always had. We explained one time, as an example, that in your history now, you believe that your President Kennedy died in 1963. Yet several years ago, your history allowed Kennedy to live till 1984. But you no longer remember that history because it's not relevant for you anymore.
Okay.
So there are many, many different kinds of changes that take place, but you will be aware of not all of them because it's not relevant for you to be aware of all of them.
What is it relevant to be aware right now?
You will be aware of what is relevant for you to be aware of.
Okay.
Some of them are obvious and some of them are not. My father delivered to you some of the impact that these exchanges have had with the 88 and 2210 paradigm. So that's part of what you're asking about. The things that are happening that are representative of what my father delivered to you are representative to some degree of the changes that are happening between your world and ours because of these interactions.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, remember? And you asked me to remind you, so there I have. Does this help you?
It does. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
Hello, Bashar.
Andrew, you good day.
Good day.
Speak up and be bold so that all may hear what you have to share.
Okay. First, I would like to thank you for choosing us as your highest excitement.
Absolutely.
And
There is nothing boring about any of you.
thank
Always keep us on the edge of our seats.
and I
Yes.
would like to extend my love to you and all the SSNA people.
Our love to you as well.
Thank you. I feel very connected to hybrid children right now.
You are.
And I feel this thing in my heart.
Yes.
It feels so good, and I just want to stay here.
What you are feeling is home. Thank you for being at home. So that when we knock on your door, you answer. Yes.
I have dreams about babies,
Yes.
and there's always some kind of spaceship flying around.
Yes. Well, you're having some leak through of memories from actual interactions with the hybrid children on the ships.
So usually I will hold a baby and then I give it away, and
Yes.
that doesn't feel sad to me.
I understand because it's part of the agenda and you understand that. So you're playing your part and eventually you'll be able to interact more frequently with those beings.
There have been times where I feel physically pregnant.
Yes.
Has that happened?
Yes. But only for a short duration.
Yeah.
And then the children are raised on the ships.
Okay.
Are you okay with this?
Yes.
All
yes.
right.
It's very exciting.
Oh, all right, yes.
Can you tell them I love them so much? I love them. Can you
They
please
know
tell
that.
them?
They love you. And they are always excited when they see you,
When do they see me?
when you're on the ships.
So I do that regularly.
Regularly enough.
I don't remember it.
Anything else?
Can you help me remember it? Can you
No.
give me?
But you will remember it when you need to.
Okay.
You can ask when you go to sleep for more memory of it.
Okay.
That can help.
Okay. Is there any kind of a name that I could maybe relate to? There was, in my last dream, there was a baby that I held, and I actually had this baby in my house, in my dream.
Yes.
And my children recognized the baby, and it was the first time that in a dream I did not have to give the baby back in a way.
Yes. Although you did, but it
Yes.
lasted longer.
Okay. Is there a name?
Briar.
Okay.
Will that do? So if you wish, when you go to sleep, ask to see Briar. That can be a conduit for you to gain more memory of what's going on.
Okay. Okay.
Will
Thank
that help?
Yes. I recently went to the redwoods and the sequoias in Mount Shasta.
Yes.
And while I was in Mount Shasta,
You were in Mount Shasta? You mean the area?
yes,
Oh, all
yes. When I was coming to the mountain,
Yes.
I saw an image that looked exactly like my dreams, like
Yes.
a place that I've been to in my dreams.
That's because the energy of the area upgraded your vibration to make you more receptive and perceptive of the existence of that reality. Therefore, it overlapped and overlaid on your senses.
Okay. Yeah, it felt like for a very long time.
Yes.
It wasn't
Remember,
going away.
everything
I was-
exists here and now
Yeah.
all at once. So when you shift your vibration, you can see things that might be invisible to you.
Okay. There also seem to be like 3 sunsets. It made me feel very kind
That's a different thing, but we won't go into that now.
of... Okay.
Just focus on Briar
Yes.
for now.
Yes.
This will aid and assist you.
Thank you.
Pleasant dreams.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Oh, so glad to be here. Okay, so I just want clarification. So this week was a little rough, and I noticed that
Rough.
emotionally rough.
Oh, all
Because
right.
I
How
kept
exciting.
noticing that I get so caught up in the result or the circumstance, and
Yes.
I know that you say all the time it's not about the circumstances, it's
Yes,
about
it's
your
about the
state of
state of being, yes.
but then I
But-
see a circumstance and then I get so upset that
Yes.
then I wonder if I really know that.
Obviously not.
Yeah.
Because what you know to be true, you do. It's in your behavior. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to wonder if you believe it. You just do it. That's when you know something.
Right, so then I must not know it. So
Correct. And so you can still practice until you do.
just practice.
Well, you have a deeper understanding of how the machine works, so to speak, the machine. The idea will be that you will define these things in a different way that will give you the motivation and incentive to change and to know these things. Because until you understand that the way you're focusing on this is actually a limitation, you'll keep doing it. But once it finally sinks in that what you're doing is actually limiting you, then you will break free because you will not prefer to be limited. Many of you think that the things you focus on are actually what expands you, when in fact they are the things that limit you. So once you understand that, you won't do them anymore because you will not prefer to be limited unless, of course, you do choose to be limited in that way.
Gotcha. Okay. So the whole thing about me constantly looking at the circumstance and then getting affected,
Yes.
I need to just somehow.
Is you're looking at it as if that's supposed to actually expand you when in fact what you're doing is choosing a limitation because you are afraid to be expanded, because the negative belief is making you afraid to change it.
Gotcha.
But once you understand that that fear is just smoke and mirrors, so you won't change the negative belief, then you can say, aha, I caught ya. And I know you're just a belief, and I know you can be changed, and I prefer to change you because I understand that the positive beliefs are what will actually allow me to expand in the way that I prefer to, and that there's nothing to be afraid of.
Okay.
So
See,
thank
when
you,
you
negative
say
belief.
it, I totally believe it.
Then that's a good example
Yeah.
for you. Allow yourself, if you wish, you can use this as a permission slip. So in your day, when you're in those moments, you can say, what would Bashar say to me right now? And you will be saying it to yourself because you're saying it to yourself right now anyway.
Okay.
Because you're talking to your higher mind using me as a mask.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
So it's all right. You can say, what would Bashar say?
Or what would Bashar do?
And what would Bashar do?
Okay.
And
Like, what would
eventually,
Jesus do?
eventually, that will start transforming into, what would I say? What would I do? Because it is you telling yourself these things, just in a way that acts as a permission slip to allow your belief system to believe that you can give yourself permission. And I'm happy to be your permission slip. But you are the one making the changes, even if you're using me as an excuse to do so.
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
I just wanted to ask, sometimes I see like this blue light or
Yes.
green. What is that?
It is a sensory perception of the frequency that is representative of the state of being that would serve you best. And when you act from that state of being, then you will be more aligned with your true vibration.
Okay.
So, go to the light.
One last question. Can I get a name for my hybrids that will help me connect?
Yes, I suppose you could.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't say I was going to give
Okay.
it to you.
Can you please give me a name that will help me connect with them more?
Do you have a favorite flower?
Not really. I like lotus flower.
Is that a guess or a statement?
It was a guess. But I can make it a statement.
What is it about the lotus flower that you enjoy?
Well, it's the symbol. It's how in the muck grows this beautiful flower.
So
yeah.
will lotus do?
Yeah.
All right. Then use lotus.
Okay. So it's just I create
The
it.
suggestion came from a hybrid child to ask you what your favorite flower is so that when you named it, that would be the vibration that would connect you because you created that connection in this dialogue. And therefore lotus will work because you came up with it as a representation, as an answer in this dialogue. And therefore the hybrid child knew that that would work for you.
Gotcha.
Does that help?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nania.
So is it okay if we choose 5 more names?
What is your time?
We have about 45 minutes.
What is your time?
So we have, till about...
You may choose 5.
Thank you.
Remember that we will determine the timing.
Of course.
Therefore, just let us know the time.
Okay.
There are many things happening that many of you are unaware of.
Oh, do tell.
Nope. Because you are unaware of them. And they must remain so at the moment.
There was a question that came from a Ustream listener that was like, what does that mean when you say that it's not allowed to be disclosed at this time?
Your higher mind or the collective consciousness is saying that it would be an interruption in a process that you have chosen for us to tell you certain things. This is why we automatically impose a block on ourselves so that we will not spill the beans on a process that you need to go through. So when there are things that you yourselves have decided would not serve you to know at this time, we will not have that information to give you. It's a natural filtering system to make sure that you go through the process you chose to go through so you would have a deeper appreciation of whatever the outcome would be. And then when you open those doors at the end of that process, there will be other things that perhaps we will be able to say because you have changed yourself into a person that is then the kind of person to whom such information would be relevant. But giving you certain information before you're ready for it would not serve you.
Gotcha.
It might in fact sometimes only act to confuse you.
Right. So, because I think sometimes people interpret that as, oh, you're withholding information from us.
Yes. But imagine, as you recently discussed, that if we had early on, when we initially started speaking with all of you, told you everything in 1 hour that we've told you over the past 33 years, you wouldn't know what to do with that information. You would just walk away utterly in a cloud and a fog.
Yeah, that would be pretty intense, for sure.
Yes, it would.
We really appreciate you being gentle and delicate with us.
Oh, is that what you think I'm doing? Well, you all have a surprise coming.
Okay, so the first name is Karma. Her name got picked. And then the next and okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and lastly, Blanca Sanchez. Okay, and then we'll save some time for some Ustream questions.
Maybe.
But I only picked 4.
I know.
So what does that mean?
You'll find out.
I guess so. All right.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Yes, actually just talking about the ecosystem and whatnot. I'm just curious about the drought, especially here in California.
Yes.
What do you predict coming?
I don't predict.
What do you see coming?
What I see is what exists as the energy existing now. The idea, therefore, is that the imbalance in your climate will continue for a while.
Especially here in California?
Yes.
Okay. And how long
Over the
do you...
next 3 of your years, as we read the energy now, there may be a shift.
For the worse?
A shift.
Okay.
A change in the climate to some degree.
Okay.
Sometime within the next 3 years, this may be probable to bring you some more water. But
Okay.
that may mean that drought will occur somewhere else.
Okay, and I'm also curious, how do you interact with Darryl? Do you telepathically? I mean,
Yes,
do you...
this is a telepathic connection.
Okay. Do you
More
come
precisely, a telepathic connection. The channel has been trained to change its brainwave frequencies to be something closer to ours. We change ours to be something closer to his in that state. And when we match frequencies sufficiently enough, then it's like 2 tuning forks vibrating in synchronous harmony, and my thoughts automatically translate through him into your language, because by operating on the same frequency, his brain is processing the same thoughts at the same time that I am.
Okay. And do you collectively come up with your agendas and what you want to speak of?
We trust synchronicity.
Okay.
Many times you will find that aside from the idea of the title or a download, I will have absolutely no idea what I'm going to say until I need to say it.
Gotcha. Let me ask you one quick question about breaking habits.
Yes.
Whether it's eating too much, drinking too much,
Yes, yes, yes.
procrastination. What
The
is
first step would be to redefine the concept of a habit, because a habit, as we have said, is something you do that you don't know you're doing. When you know you're doing it, when you recognize that a habit is there, it's not a habit anymore, it's a choice. Then you would logically have the question, why would I choose something I don't prefer? And that's the beginning of the investigation that will discover the belief that you're holding on to that causes what you're calling to be the repeated behavior. And once you can identify that and see that it's out of alignment with who you prefer to be and let it go, then the repeated behavior will no longer exist. Remember that in order to recognize you have a habit, you actually have to be outside of the habit, in the same way that to recognize you're in a forest, you have to be beyond it to know that it was a forest. So the recognition of the habit is actually the end of the process of letting go of the habit. But if you have a belief that continues the behavior, then it's a choice, and you have to find out why that choice exists, because you must believe you're getting something out of continuing to behave the same way, or you wouldn't do it.
Nice.
How's that?
That was very nice.
All right.
And one quick one, this is just curiosity. What are your thoughts on L. Ron Hubbard and what it's all about, Scientology?
There are no thoughts that I have to share with you on that at this time.
All right, thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I have a couple of questions. One is sometimes when I sleep, I'm conscious. Like it's still,
Yes.
I'm aware. And
You are
sometime-
aware or unaware?
No, I'm aware.
All right.
And sometimes I feel, I don't know what it is, like craft or some type of, like someone is there.
Yes, yes, yes.
And sometimes I even say, I know you're there.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
And they're playing a little game with you.
yes, and they...
Hide and seek.
and I
To
feel like...
draw you more into that level of awareness.
and-
Remember, we don't sleep at all anymore because we are fully awake in the physical dream. This is sort of where you're heading. And they're luring you into more of that lucidity.
Well, sometimes
Yes?
I feel like they zap something or they put something here.
Well,
by my
they, with
forehead.
you, make alterations in the frequencies that give you more ability to continue to expand in the game.
Yeah, and sometimes I catch myself talking.
Yes?
Like the other night.
Well, that's only polite.
Well, there's
Because if they're having a conversation with you, it wouldn't do much good for you to remain silent.
Well, I know I feel like I talk out loud even in my sleep because
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you're actually in another dimension talking. Not really asleep as you understand sleep.
And then also
Yes.
I can see my parallel lives merging,
Yes.
and I'm a little bit disappointed with me now.
Why are
on
you
this-
disappointed?
Because I've seen myself become light, or I've seen myself get.
And
a
how do
certain
you think
level.
you're going to get there? By being who you are now. If you invalidate the stepping stone you are now, you remove it and remove your ability to step from it to the next stone. So just because you see a version that might in some senses be considered more preferable, if you invalidate the you are now by being disappointed in it, you actually remove your ability to become that you prefer.
Mm-hmm.
All things must be valid in order for you to use them.
And I can see that in theory, and sometimes I feel like I can't shake off.
That's a belief that you have just stated. The
Yes.
fact that you can only see it in theory is the product of what you believe. Find the belief that says that it's only a theory to you and let it go, and then it will become real. All it takes is a deeper understanding of how existence works. That's all. It's very simple.
So, okay. So at first when I would feel these ETs or whatever was,
Yes.
I would be really scared.
Yes, because certain parts of your physical consciousness think that suddenly you're out of control, and so you go into survival mode. But that's all right. It's just that the energy is forcing you to face these negative beliefs within yourself, and therefore that's the origin of the fear. It's not really a fear of them, it's a fear of yourself, a fear of your own beliefs.
Well, now that I'm okay, I feel like I can't see them as well.
That's because you're acclimating to a new energy. Other things will start happening, but they will give you time to rest and acclimate to the new level that you have arrived on.
So is that what's happening now? I'm
Yes.
resting? Okay, because nothing's happening now. I feel.
Oh, many things are happening now. But again, redefine. As we have often demonstrated, instead of this, up and down and up and down and up and down, it's this.
Yes, I remember
The resting
that.
periods allow you to go higher next time.
Yeah,
So
you-
it's a constant upward motion and acceleration of your energy.
Yeah, I remember you said that once, and it's always in my mind.
Then when you need to remember it, remember it.
And also, I'd like to thank you. I came to see you once before for the first time, and I was actually disappointed again.
You have, in that sense, made a choice to constantly disappoint yourself from your place of power.
Yes.
Reappoint yourself to your place of power. Stop invalidating who you are at this moment. Stop invalidating what's happening in your life right now. Otherwise, you can't use it to get to the next stage.
So when I came home, I had a talk, with you in the car.
Yes.
And later on, like maybe for the next couple months, I felt a lot of download that I felt
Alright.
was connected to you. So I apologized, and then I thanked you. So thank you.
What are you apologizing for?
Well, because I think, like I said, I do recognize that I go through this
So what?
mastery of things, and then disappoint, and then mastery, and then disappoint.
All right, but ultimately, remember the two-word mantra.
Yes.
So what?
Yes, I remember that too. From
All
you.
right.
So what?
So what? Big deal. All right. Maybe you didn't go down a path that you really would prefer for that moment, but you can still learn from it.
Yes.
Therefore, so what?
And that's what I see now, that even though
All right.
I learned from. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I want to first thank you. This is my first time seeing you live, so it's really great.
Well, you're not really seeing me, but
Well,
thank you.
Kind of, but yeah, I guess. So I want to tell you a little bit of a story first, and then it'll lead to a question.
All right.
So since I was younger, I've had a lot of dreams that would be perceived as like sleep paralysis.
Yes.
And like
Which
someone...
again is one of the symptoms of being shifted to another reality.
Right. But I always wake up hyperventilating. Like
Yes.
almost to like too much of an extreme, or I
Yes.
feel like I can't breathe.
Yes.
And it's really frightening at times.
Nothing really will happen to you. It's just that you are not used to the re-entry into your physical reality because you actually, in those moments, prefer to stay in the other one.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
All right, but everything's fine. Just relax. It's okay to be where you are. That's the agreement you made.
Well, yesterday, after seeing you on Friday night, and then yesterday I took a nap, and just within that time frame, I was able to go somewhere, I don't know where,
Yes, yes, yes.
where I was interacting with children, and I didn't hyperventilate the same as
All
I
right.
usually do. So it's
They may have
changing.
assisted you then with that.
But I felt someone like pulling on my shoulder, kind of like.
As I said, they may have assisted you
Okay.
a little bit with that.
Okay.
So you do have help. Ask, and you shall receive.
Okay.
And
then,
know that it's already being given, and become more aware of the help that's already being given.
Okay.
That's what asking is actually all about. Asking is not asking for something you're not being given. Asking is putting yourself in a state where you become more aware of what's already being given to you.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, very much so.
All right. So breathe easily. Breathe,
Thank you.
breathe, breathe.
And then also, so in my dreams,
Yes.
I haven't had any recently, but when I was, I don't know, 16, 17, I used to have dreams of really being pregnant. Like I thought, like I would wake up and look at my stomach. There was no way I could be pregnant at that time, but I really thought I definitely was.
All right.
So does this have something to do with hybrid children?
Yes, it does.
And so since everyone's asking names, is there a name in particular that will help me as I go to bed to think about?
Violet.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And one last question. So I have been going back and forth between moving recently.
Where are you more excited to be?
Okay, and then, yeah, Sedona is my place where I would move to.
Are you excited to be there?
Yes,
All right. What else needs to be said?
you're right. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
How are you?
Perfect, and you?
Great.
All right.
This is kind of synchronization. Previous lady was asking kind of similar question as
Yes.
mine, but I had really like similar experience last month. I was very exhausted, sleeping for two weeks.
Yes.
Sleeping every day.
Yes. And?
I thought pregnant, but I was not. This is children.
You are connected, but there is more information to come for you if you will relax into it. You're holding some of that information away. Don't be afraid.
Okay.
Don't be afraid. There is nothing to be afraid of. One moment. In the near future, there will be a transmission specifically from a group of hybrid children that will aid and assist many of you with these kinds of issues. We will let you know when the timing for that is appropriate. Save your interactions until then. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I have one more question.
Speak up.
Okay, when I went to Mount Shasta,
Oh, were you also inside the mount?
no, in the area.
Yes, I know. I'm having fun with you.
Okay. While I was go back to home
Yes.
in the mount, like around mountain, while I was driving a car, I was suddenly shifted to another world, like,
Yes.
and then.
Well, like I said, when you go into vortexes that upgrade your energy, suddenly you're able to perceive many different kinds